This might be one of the most shocking monkeypox situations. So, monkeypox patient's nose is rotting after being dismissed as a sunburn. Now, we won't be ignoring this video because it doesn't really have to do with what we're going to be talking about. Well, I mean, kind of does, but not really. So, a man's nose began to rot in one of the most shocking monkeypox cases reported so far. The 40-year-old German patient went to his doctor after a red spot developed on his nose. It was then assumed to be a sunburn and the man was sent home. But within a few more days, the lesion on his nose began to turn black. The man soon also found pus-filled sores all over his body, which were particularly severe around his penis and mouth, as reported in the medical journal Infection. Well, those are kind of very specific locations to have it. So the unnamed man was then tested for monkeypox and given antivirals to combat the virus. Now, while at the hospital, he was also tested for various sexually transmitted illnesses for the first time. And he told doctors, which revealed he also had undiagnosed syphilis and HIV. What the actual hell, right? So you have someone who got monkeypox and a very, very bad case of it, probably because he was screwing around with so many people. Like, you can only get syphilis and HIV in pretty specific ways, right? It's like, oh, Lord. And his syphilis had gone so long undetected that it spread to multiple organs. Meanwhile, tests confirmed that his HIV infection had developed into AIDS. Like, this is like basically like a guy that was like willing to put anything anywhere at any given time, and probably even his nose too. Like, I know this sounds kind of rude, but like, dude, are you literally never going to test yourself if you're like sleeping all over the place? That is so irresponsible. And not only that, you could have potentially had made people literally just pass away by you spreading so many infections. So, as for his case of monkeypox, the antiviral medication was enough to dry out the sores on the skin, but only partially improve the nose by reducing swelling. According to study authors, the man's case was so severe because the HIV left him immunocompromised and susceptible to necrosis, the death of body tissue. And doctors who penned the article for Infection did not provide an update on the man's recovery. And Germany currently has 3,186 cases of monkeypox recorded since May 20th, with only the US 12,689 and Spain 5,719 reporting more cases. There are currently just over 38,000 cases worldwide, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So, yeah, this is just, oof. And here's the thing, the virus has primarily spread through gay and bisexual men, who account for about 98% of patients. Although women, children, and heterosexual men are just as likely to become sick if directly exposed to monkeypox. Dr. John White, Chief Medical Officer of WebMD, told the Post that doctors are still learning about it, but reassured patients of their worst fears. We haven't known the current outbreak to be fatal, and that's a good thing, White said. And again, the silver steel adult star that ended up doing the whole thing, showing on his face and all that kind of stuff. Now we're gonna be checking out the comments too, but yeah, if you are having unprotected adult relations with another person, or multiple people to be more specific, maybe, I don't know, get tested for like your own health? Maybe, that might be a good idea. So let's see. God works in mysterious ways. While at the hospital, he was also treated for various sexually transmitted illnesses for the first time. He told doctors, which revealed he also had undiagnosed syphilis and HIV. And this person put homosexuality is a mental disorder and this is evidence. This is what someone put as a comment. One can only wonder where the nose had been prior to contracting the virus. LOL, sure, some brown stuff was on it. Patient stated he thought he got it handling money? Really? Sorry for my insensitivity, but this is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. And shame on him for rocking around with diseases he didn't know he had. If you're going to be sexually active, then it is your responsibility to get yourself checked out at least once a year. It's unfortunate, frankly, that you even have to feel like you're being insensitive for identifying his despicable behavior. This guy is living out a man reaps what he sows. Nice lifestyle this guy had going. You have to wonder how many people he infected on a Saturday night. Like, can you imagine that you're part of that community and maybe you go to like a group thing and oh, you just end up getting tested and find out, well, now I'm basically screwed because, in more ways than one, because now I got HIV. Now I got monkeypox. Now I got syphilis. Like, I feel so bad for people who engage into those things because this is the thing, right? Personally, I don't care what people do with their life, right? But anytime you involve more than one person in like your love life or your sleeping around life, you put yourself at risk and you put other people at risk because you don't know what will happen because there's so many different factors, right? If you were in a committed relationship, it decreases the possibility, the likelihood that some unknown thing is going to happen because you're just with one person. It's like less variables. But if you're going to be engaging in stuff and you have like 10 people all doing things in a room, you don't know the past history of all those 10 people. You have no clue. You can't even guess it really with any amount of accuracy, right? One of them could have been in like I don't know, like some weird gangbang or something. Another one could just have been, I don't know, literally injecting himself with the same needle that they use with their buddy. I don't know, right? Like you just don't know. There's too many variables. There's too many people with different histories. Like, how could you ever be safe in those types of situations? And that's probably what this guy got involved in. Let's see. Gay or straight, how do you go that long without ever being tested? Even if you use protection every single time, you should still be getting tested. And this is pretty gnarly. Like, truly. Like, oof. Like, people need to be way more responsible for themselves and other people that they, like, engage things with. Like, this is just sad, honestly.